Hey, Ancil Lea here. Hey, welcome to another edition of Common Grounds and of this series that we've been working on called Selling into Healthcare. And today I got a special guest. I've got Brian Williams, the COO of AneScan, to talk to us today. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Ancil, how are you? Good to be with you
Hey.
today.
Well, thanks for joining me today from Nashville, Tennessee, right?
That's right, Music City.
Music City, and good barbecue there, maybe.
Awesome. There's good barbecue in my backyard.
Absolutely. Well, hey, listen again. Thank you for coming on here today. Hey, matter of fact, speaking of food, we got to have dinner together up in Northwest Arkansas when you guys were putting in a system at a great Italian restaurant in Tawnytown, Arkansas. The Venetian Inn, by the way, we'll give them a plug. That was some awesome food.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah. So hey, tell us what is AneScan? What is the company AneScan?
Yeah, so we're an anesthesia electronic medical record, and it's a very simple, very easy to use system. Anesthesia providers utilize a tablet, and so you've got a tablet computer like this, like a Microsoft Surface Pro that you see on the sidelines of NFL games, and they can utilize the tablet in order to do their full documentation. We even have a stylus to where they can write on the tablet as well. And the
Right.
key to our system is that we're customizable. And so we take forms that look just like paper and we digitize it. And so the transition from a paper charting system to an electronic medical record is very easy, and it's a very simple go live process.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I wanted to have you go back over again. You just thank you for that intro. But I mean, basically your system looks just like paper forms
Right.
that are in that the anesthesiologists or CRNA that are working with a chart, a paper chart would look like, and they're using the pad.
We did that by design. A lot of our competitors have user interfaces that are very difficult to navigate. And so if you have a user interface that looks like paper, like what an anesthesia provider has utilized throughout their entire career, then the transition is going to be a lot easier. It also helps when you're thinking about things like consent forms. The provider can hand the patient the tablet and they can sign a consent right there at the bedside in pre-op. And it just makes for a very, very simple system. And, it just really just works.
Wow, that's yeah, no, I can appreciate that because I've seen so many systems not look like the workflow. So it's pretty cool to see it resemble what they're already doing paper wise. So hey, and one of again, we had dinner up in Northwest Arkansas. You're working on implementation of a few hospitals up there, and one of the things that and we talked about lots of stuff, but one of the things you brought up to me, I wanted to ask you is really what is the one big problem that you're seeing in anesthesia groups these days?
The real problem that we're seeing is incomplete records. And the way that we handle that is that we've got hard stops to make sure that we have a complete and compliant record. And so, we have like a orb. So it looks like a stoplight, and they don't get a green light until all of the elements are totally complete on the chart. Now, we've done studies where we've taken a look at with the results before and after we implement, and one facility in Texas that we did a study on a few years ago had 200 incomplete charts, and after we implemented, it was down to the single digits. And so that's a real big key. And then there's also a compliance angle to it as well. If you're going to look at a JCO audit or something like that, we've been in existence for 15 years. And so we've been through all kinds of audits, and our charts are compliant. We can give good guidance to our clients to make sure that they've got a good chart under their belt.
Well, and what you're saying there, you just mentioned something, skipped over it really quickly, that you guys have been in business for over 15 years.
Mhm.
And what that tells me is that you've been through it. You've seen all kinds of situations,
Mhm.
and that and you're not a startup. I mean, you guys have been around, and you've got a really nice client base, and
Mhm.
understand what really the problems are in the world of anesthesia, and not getting paid, because you got charts sitting out there is a big problem.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because we like to consider ourselves as billing centric. And, we have done return on investment studies. Our software is very affordable to the price point that people can afford. And, we've done some studies where consistently we show revenue increases for charge capture of increases of over 10%, and net revenue increases of over 5%. And, that's because we have clean claims. And if you reduce denials, which anesthesia typically has denials of about 20%, and it
Hmm.
costs about 6 times more to bill a record that has been denied once. And a lot of times they don't even go back and bill them. It is very important for the revenue cycle, in order to have a system like ours that does have a return on investment. And it's because of reasons that we're talking about. It's because of the hard stops. It's because we code the procedure and the diagnosis at the point of care. It's because we pick up additional procedures, or we take a picture of an ultrasound guided block in order to assist the providers to be adequately reimbursed.
Well, and that, man, that's so important,
Mhm.
in a world of where we're all fighting to get the reimbursement that they're due.
Right.
It's it's to get clean claims out the door is such a big deal, and just to get them out the door
Right.
is a big
Right.
deal.
Right.
So, and one of the other things that just came to mind is the integration that you guys are working with hospitals, that you're already integrated with several hospital systems, like Cerner.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. We that's one of our strengths, our ability to interface, and with large systems like, as you said, Cerner, Meditech, or Epic, or others, or small
Right.
or surgery center systems like Advantix or SIS. And so that is one of the great things that we do. So what we do is we take the schedule and demographic information from a host system, and we populate a schedule on our system. And then the provider goes in, opens up that chart, and completes the record. And they can also park or save a record and hand it off to another person with a tablet to be completed later. When the case is complete, then we send a completed legal medical record back to the host system. And then we also send all of that discrete digital data off to the billing software for the anesthesia group. So it's being sent directly into their software, so there's less typos and there's less mistakes that can be made in billing. So you're right, Ansel. Interfacing is a very important part of what we do.
Well, hey, listen, how can and hey, listen, we could have a long, I mean, this could be a very long conversation. And I hope, and one of the things I hope to do is us having a more extended discussion here. But for today, to kind of keep it short and sweet, because there's more questions I could ask, and I want to ask. So, man, this is great. Brian, thank you. And if folks want to know more about AneScan, what's the best way to contact you guys?
Yeah, go to our website, www.anescan.com is really the best way. And there's a page in Anescan to where you could reach out to us. And certainly we'd love to hear from you if you're an anesthesia group that's currently on paper, or if you've got another anesthesia EMR that you just don't like and you need a really simple system. We'd love to partner with you.
Cool. Now they can also reach out to you on LinkedIn here and direct message you. Could they do
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, definitely reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm active there, and my email address, I'm happy to give that out. That's bwilliams@anescan.com.
Cool. Well, and I will tell, hey, folks, if any of you guys have questions, please, and you can't remember any of this, direct message me, and I'll follow up with Brian and connect you to him. But hey, Brian, thanks so much for taking time today, and hey, listen, I look to have more conversations in regards to AneScan. But also what's going on in the world of anesthesia, that I think, that's very important. So more to come on that. I'll have some more announcements on that. But Brian, thank you so much for coming on here today and talking and telling us about AneScan.
Thank you, Ansel. It was an honor to be on. Thank you very much.
You bet. Well, thank you. And hey, talk soon.
Okay. Have a
All
great day.
right.
Bye.
Thanks.